Hi, this is Paul from globaltradingsoftware.com. Quick video on the xBratAlgo. This is the brand new ThinkorSwim version. I wanted to go through support and resistance zones and the risk to reward when we get these signals. So this is 15 minutes on NQ, and I wanted to just go through, forget this on the right here, this peak, but more importantly, when I'm putting a support and resistance zone, I'm looking at where there's going to be some issues moving up or down from previous things. So when we're looking at these two trades here that we'll go through in a minute, we've got to look at this support and this resistance here, giving us short-term resistance, and as it happened, it did do that. But also then this support down at the bottom where we've got this low pivot, and then we've got a slightly higher pivot here that actually demarks our the low and the high of the zone. So that's framed the chart. Now we're going into these trades. Remember, this is Heikin-Ashi, the candlesticks. We're on the 15 minute, and this is NQ. So we've come to test this again. We get a 5-star buy signal. The immediate action for this is to go long over a recent pivot, which is here, and above the high of that particular candle, which is here. The stop really needs to be below the first pivot before the 5-star buy, which is this red candle here. You'll see with Heikin-Ashi, this is the only red candle in there, so that's a good place for the stop. Then just work out your risk reward. So stop, entry, use your fib extension, and you can see here we're over 1 to 2 to that next resistance zone. So lots of fresh air, lots of room for this to go, and as it happened, we then got a 6-star buy going up there. I mean, again, we'll talk about this ones when you get 6-star buys on the move on the downward one, but this trade probably 300% profit times risk, really good looking trade there. And then when we hit that resistance zone, start to come down, we get the 6-star buy. But sometimes we get these 6-star buys not late, but when the momentum's really going. So what we do is we put a stop just above the signal candle here, and an entry just below the signal candle. We've got to be reasonably quick, but this is a 15-minute time frame. It did have time because this is where the candle closed, and obviously it gapped up and then moved down again. But then risk to reward, stop to entry, use your fib extension is over 1 to 2 to the next support zone. So you've got lots of fresh air. In this case, it did move down very well and hit the 200% mark times risk, and that would have been the same on there. So again, one things we always have to remember when we're trading a 24-hour product like futures or forex with the xBrat is that we use Heikin-Ashi candles, the averaging candles, because you get really strong signals with those candles. You've got to frame your chart. So when we look left, we've got to make sure we've got a really strong support and resistance zone here, so we can work out what our risk reward is and the support down here. So we frame the chart, and what happens today? If we get a signal here, we go down time frames. If we get a long signal coming up on NQ, we work that out. Those support and resistance zones still are good. And again, so what we're looking for now, this is on the 5 minute, we just looking for a signal to come in. Wait, your stop would most likely be these lows, depending on if the momentum starts to build. This is European morning, so not too much volatility here. But again, you just got to keep following those support and resistance zones. Look for those. One of my favorite time frames on the indexes is the 15 minute for the xBrat, but it's very good on the 5 and the 3 minute as well. So this is the ThinkorSwim version. It's available for lots of different platforms now on globaltradingsoftware.com. Hope this video was helpful.